Hi, a very good afternoon. My name is Glenn. I'm from Dimeled Private Limited. Today, I'm going to share with you our proposed solution for drilling at height at construction sites using our proposed solution, which is our drilling at height machine. This will be the scope that we'll be sharing today. Many a times when we approach a work site, there are often many services that is being congested at the high level area in which the work is to be conducted. And so this poses as a challenge for workers who would want to perform certain work that is at a certain height level. And we can't exactly use any high access equipment because the area is too congested. And in situations like these, we are unable to deploy any high access equipment. Oftentimes, customized scaffolding system will be used, which will be very costly. So similar situations like these, we will often require quite costly scaffold platforms to be deployed in order to get the work done. And these are also examples of areas at which there are many equipments on the ground in which it will pose challenges to even for scaffolding to be even deployed. So therefore, if you want to do any work at height, it will be quite difficult to achieve. Often or not, you have to remove some of the equipment, and sometimes transportation costs can be quite costly as well. So who actually works at height? There are actually many contractors, many trades of services who will actually has a requirement to install services at the ceiling. So from electrical to ACMV to data networking, plumbing and sanitary pipes, fire protection, sprinkler pipes, building management system, security system, car access system, and the list goes on. So there are so many different trades who will usually be subcontracted to the various vendors to get this work done. And if we can actually streamline this process to be able to reduce our reliance on high access equipment, the amount of cost savings could be substantial. So this is what we're talking about for businesses who will definitely be interested in reducing their costs and also reliance on labor to get this work done. There's a survey by Sabana Jurong that will be a significant upsurge in construction activity in year 2024 with a value that range between 32 to 38 billion. And out of which this total amount, about 10 billion is actually attributed to M&E works. So we estimated this amount to be actually around 26% of total construction costs. So imagine for a $2 million project, we're looking at 26 million of savings. But of course, we will not be able to reduce or eliminate the entire 26 million. But I think a substantial amount of this activity is actually attributed to working at height. And we would like to minimize this cost deployed for working at height. Besides cost savings, there is also risk that is involved in working at height. So some of the most common risk involves fall from height, falling object, and catastrophic events like scaffold collapse. According to MOM statistics, construction sector is actually one of the highest number of fatal accidents. And out of which, in the construction industry, the most common reason for fatal injury is actually falling from height. And another item is actually falling objects. So injury that is being due to uh, struck by falling objects remains at top five reason for most minor injuries within the construction sector. So after exploring about the cost savings effect and also risk minimizing and the risk involved in working at height, we also look at existing solutions that is being developed Um, for example, for this machine by Hilti, it is actually quite expensive for subcontractors. So subcontractors usually will not be able to afford this kind of solutions. So these are actually mainly bought by Maincon. But however, most of the work that is being done at the sealing area, which involves all the services, are usually done by subcontractors. And such solutions are actually quite heavy to be transported around. And it is actually quite bulky also for construction sites that is constrained, with constrained areas and with a lot of stores that is being placed around. So it is quite difficult to move around and is unaffordable by subcontractors. And some solutions actually do not meet the required stability and the required ideal height that is necessary for us to get the work done. Certain height levels from 5 to 10 meters will not be able to uh, be achieved by this kind of design. Hence, our proposed solution is actually more stable drilling at height machine, which has a stable base, preferably to be able to easily maneuver it around. There should be a mechanical and electrical control to be able to control the height and the speed of the movement. Uh, it should come with a laser guiding system that is able to guide the drill to be drilling at the desired spot with accuracy, with a reasonable amount of accuracy. And this, and we do not want to reinvent the wheel, so it should work with existing equipment like the Makita or Hilti or Stanley drills. Uh, it can be a drill machine or a jigsaw machine or some other machine that this machine will be able to be with a certain mechanism to be able to deploy from where the operator is standing. It should be able to have a rotary adjustment that it is able to drill at ceilings or drilling at walls at a certain angle. Some of the key advantages that we are hoping to achieve, of course, as mentioned earlier, it is to reduce the risk for exposure to work at height, to reduce the cost and the usage of work at height access equipment. This
Apologies, everyone. I think for some reason somebody just closed the breakout room. Yeah, I think we'll resume again. Sorry for the interruption.
at, at height access equipment. This should be relatively affordable, and it is to reduce the risk for exposure to work at height, to reduce the cost and the usage of work at height access equipment. This should be relatively affordable and the low investment cost that most subcontractors will be able to afford. It should be easy to use, user-friendly, that most worker level people will be able to deploy them. And we are hoping to see that with all these in place, that there will be increased efficiency on site. And of course, it's a bonus point if this machine will be able to perform other tasks like fastening of bolts and lifting of pipes, so as to relieve the need or the reliance of high access equipment in order to get all these tasks done. So thank you. I've come to the end of my presentation, and this is our contact information. So feel free to contact us if there's any information and inquiries, and I hope to be able to work with you soon. Thank you very much.
Great. Hope everyone managed to get that context from Glenn. Glenn is with us to answer the question. So if anyone has any question on this challenge statement, please type it in the chat box. And meanwhile, probably I can just kickstart a question with you, Glenn. If you're, we have a question from Elliot. Yes, Elliot, please type in your question. Yes. All right, so we already have two questions. So first question is from Frank. Usually, what is the height? I believe that's the question.
Hi.
Hi.
Uh,
Hi, sorry, a bit of a technical error because I can't unmute myself. Yeah, so typical drilling height, ceiling height depends on the site. Certain environment might be about 5 to 7 meters. So you won't require such a heavy duty piece of equipment. Yeah, but of course there are also certain like warehouses or certain atriums of buildings, reception areas. You can go up to like 10 to maybe 13 meters. Yeah, so of course we don't expect the machine to be able to work wonders in all sorts of sites. So I think it depends on the design. If we can go up to a height, like let's say 7, or if it's possible to push it further, maybe 10 meters, yeah, that would be very, very helpful for actually a lot of site situations.
Great. Second question from Frank. If the height is too high, the base could be very heavy and big to keep it stable, but the floor space is limited as shown as the previous figure. Yeah.
Yes, agree with that. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, we don't expect the machine to be able to work magic. So, of course, if it's too high, let's say 15, 20, it really depends on the design. So, I'm sure there are other ways to increase stability of this machine instead of just based on weight. Yeah, there could be other structures that could in place to be able to make it stable, like a certain structure or tripod. Yeah, I mean, that is really to the design of the whoever is taking up the challenge. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks for that, Glenn. Hope that answered your question, Frank. Next question from Elliot. Can we add external measurement system like the Hilti JBot using a total station?
Yeah. So like I mentioned in the present, of course it will be the bonus machine will be able to other machineries because we are not looking to invent a wheel. We're looking at a machine that can be used to operate other machines at height. Yeah, so the thing that we're eliminating is actually high size equipment. So the end equipment could be anything. So if you want to use the Hilti jar board, if you can design something that is able to operate this remotely, not using high size equipment, so the operator will be below at the safe zone and you'll be operating something at the height. I think that would be perfect.
Yeah, hope that answered your question, Elliot. To the rest on the floor, please type in your question. Separately, I think, Glenn, just to check with you, if you manage to find the right solution provider, do you have a pilot site in mind? Do you have any plans on the pilot on how that will happen, or any site identified for it?
Yeah, so of course I can use the work sites of my existing project sites. And I also have my office. My office is like 5, 6 meters high. Yeah, so that would be a good test bed for at least to meet the minimum requirement of the of this machine, envisioned machine. Yeah, so but of course, if other venues allow, like if let's say the BCA campus, if you allow us to use a certain area to use as a test bed, I mean, that that would be great.
Cool. Thank you. And I think the follow-up question from Elliot, which he asked, can you maybe give a minimum height to be reached to consider this a successful POC? Kind of, I think doubles your answer earlier as
Yeah.
well. So that's 5
Sure.
to 6
So,
meters.
like just reinforce my answer previously. So, if we can achieve at least even 5 meters height, yeah, because anything like above 4 meters over, yeah, you will need at least a scissor lift. So, 5, 7 meters, that would be good. Yeah.
Cool, cool, perfect.